Hello, my name is Ibtisam, and welcome to my life on how to live life as a deeply existential mystic. To be honest, nothing in my life really made sense until I found out that I was an existential mystic. um, I don't like labels, but if there's one label, I would say that's the label. So, what do I mean by that? So I would say the mystic has a very deep, deep longing. Like it's like an unquenchable thirst. It's it's even hard to put into words, right? But there is a longing for, I think, fundamentally to unite with truth, with God, if you will. And yeah, my life path, my life story didn't really make sense until I found out that that's who I am in essence, right? I'm a mystic. So there is this quest for wisdom, for knowledge, for gnosis, as they call it, which is not just knowledge, but deeper knowledge of the workings of life and reality, and not just information, but embodied, like felt, experiential knowledge. So, how to live life as an existential mystic? I've asked myself that question many times because it seems to be that the lens through which mystics view life is specific, and it's often through a certain depth and through a certain level of questioning. And sometimes that's intense, sometimes that's overwhelming, and sometimes it's hard to even grasp because your identities can shift so much so fast. Because actually, as a mystic, you're very in tune with um, with existence itself, and you realize that you are you are it, you are everything, you are nothing, you are the seasons, you are grandiose, and you are non-existent, right? It's living in a very strong polarity and kind of finding all the time this balance between that polarity, and that's not always easy. But I think the mystic's heart has no other choice because it seeks expansiveness. It seeks to go out of any box. It seeks to know itself in and out. It seeks to learn through contrast. It seeks passion and devotion. It doesn't seek ordinary. It seeks extraordinary. It seeks exploration. It seeks devotion, and to find the middle way in that intensity of a mystic's lens, I would say can be tricky. So for me, I grew up in religion, and being a mystic, growing up in religion is it's especially when it's a religion based on fear, when there's a lot of fear involved. Um, I remember I felt so often so existential about life. I remember I had sleepless nights. I remember I felt when there was fear, I felt fear intensely. When there was love, I felt love intensely. Um, I remember fighting with my own nature, my questioning. I remember thinking, I just want to belong. Mind, can you stop making it complicated? I just want to belong. And I would fight against my own thoughts, against my own questioning, against my own radar, which seeked more depth, which was questioning things, which was not sure about the narrative. And I remember that it would be hard for me and that I would be in intense conflict. And at some point, as life moves on, you become more of who you are, or the who you truly are is speaking out more. It's harder to ignore it. And at some point, I was brutally honest with myself, and I said, actually, I don't believe any of these things that I'm being told. Frankly, I've been trying to believe it. I've been trying to fit in for the sake of belonging, for the sake of acceptance, for the sake of community, for the sake of my human nature seeking safety. But then when I was truly honest with myself, I realized I don't believe any of these things. In my deepest heart, I don't. And then the mystic got space, the questioner got space, and then things crumbled. Realities crumbled, belief systems crumbled, family relationships crumbled, old lives crumbled, identities crumbled. And that was highly, highly challenging. And at the same time, it was ecstatically liberating. As an existential mystic, having no borders whatsoever, and pure space, pure emptiness, pure unknown, pure mystery is a joy, is a bliss, is an ecstasy. So, with its hardships, I still decided to go for it, to follow the whisper and the red thread coming from my essence, guiding me into the mystic's path. And the mystic's path is particular, is unique, but it's also, there's a universal element to it, because when you look at archetypes, there are certain archetypical journeys and initiations through which a mystic moves through which a seeker moves through. And a mystic has to fall, has to let itself fall, and not knowing when it's gonna land, if it's gonna land, where it is, where is end, where is beginning. A mystic has to completely fall into the abyss, and that's terrifying. And at the same time, that's the initiation. Because once you fall into the abyss and once you let yourself fall, you realize you enter a different playing ground of life. You realize that the laws change slightly. The workings of reality and the game of life changes. Its rules changes. So once you enter the field of the mystic, nothing is coincidence. Once you enter the field of the mystic, you realize God is a living, breathing organism communicating to you through all of life, through every person, through every interaction, through every movement, through every silence, through every pain, through every longing. And the sooner you surrender, the sooner you surrender, the sooner you surrender, the faster you will come to your gnosis, to your connection with God. So, how to live life as an existential mystic? Tell me, how to live in the modern world as an existential mystic? Are you a genius? Are you crazy? Are you powerful? Are you weak? Are you ridiculed? Are you praised? I believe the way to do it is to invest so wholeheartedly into the idea that life has got your back, that you have got your back, that your soul and your heart has got your back. And that in different times, different places, different eras, normal and crazy are different things. Normal and crazy change all the time based on context. And when you realize that, when you realize how fleeting the idea of normal is, that's when you truly embrace who you are. Because the life of a mystic is not bound in current society or culture or class. It goes way beyond that. And sometimes it can feel a bit like you're odd, you're off. Your, I don't know, your way of thinking, your way of feeling, your language, the way you speak, the way you talk, the way your voice sounds, the things you care about, the things you want to do, the impulses you get. In the context of the society and environment we live in, it's like, what? Where's that coming from? In the context of a mystic, it makes absolute sense. So, how to survive life as an existential mystic? how to tell me how to. I can tell you, but the thing is about the mystic is wise. The mystic knows. The mystic knows everything that it needs to know, actually. Maybe not directly, but it's inside. And at the same time, the mystic knows nothing. The mystic is the most humble student you will ever meet. The mystic is a speck of dust. It bows its head and it just wants to know. It's thirsty for gnosis, for knowledge, for guidance, for truth. For burning flames of ecstasy, destroying all that it is not and revealing all that it is. The only way as an existential mystic is through. The only way as an existential mystic is surrender. The only way as an existential mystic is embracing its own insanity in the context of its society. The only way for an existential mystic is to follow radically all of its heart's longings. Follow anything which lights up its cells and makes it feel like, yes, this is why I exist. This is what I care about. This is my truth. This is why I'm here. This is home. Radically follow that. And that's the only way for an existential mystic to survive and thrive in modern world.